There's last season. Let's say I think they conceded 14 less goals a season before. The problem they had last season was they didn't score enough goals up front, and in respects of, being 5 behind City. You know what I mean? And that was the problem. Defensively, absolutely fantastic.
Just missing out on those goals.
That's all it was. That's all it was in the end. I think that this is why probably he hasn't got a striker yet. He believes that maybe the form of a couple of players need to get better and they could maybe give us those goals. But defensively, wise Sima, it's rock solid, especially with the way the goalkeeper's playing. It looks even more stronger than last season.
It does, doesn't it? It was an important moment of the game, wasn't it, Tim?
Massive. Do you remember the circus surrounding Ramsdale and Raya? We don't see that anymore. There is no circus. He's the number one. The manager stuck by him. He had a difficult time, but he's good with the ball. His decision making's better. He's a fantastic shot stopper. Player of the year, PFA Player of the Year, voted by his peers. The guy is top drawer, and he needs to be top drawer if they're going to win the Premier League.
Yeah, and it makes all the difference when you have a solid goalkeeper, doesn't it?
Yeah, you won't see any of the teams that have won the league, not just the league, like the Premier League, going back to not having a great keeper. Everyone's got a great keeper.
Raya made that extraordinary save. Leandro Trossard came on and scored with his first touch and helped Arsenal to victory. Leandro, congratulations. Before we get into your goal and your impact in the game, what about that save from your perspective?
Yeah, amazing. He saved us a couple of times today. He showed it last week as well. So, yeah, credit to him. He kept us in the game, and then, it was great that we finished it off at the end.
We saw some very noisy celebrations at the end. What was it like in the dressing room there? Does it feel like a very significant victory, even though it's so early in the season?
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone knows what a tough place it is to come to play here and win a game, and another clean sheet. So yeah, it's a perfect away win for us.
Was it actually a nice time for you to come on into the game at 0-0?
I prefer it to be 0-0 than obviously being in behind 1-0 down. So yeah, I always try to do my best and try to help and change the game. And luckily, it went my way and the team's way today again. And I'm very, very pleased with that.
Well, you certainly did that, Leandro. When you come on in the 60-odd minute, first touch of the ball. I mean, that's as good as it gets. Talk us through it, because we highlighted you. And when I look at you, you come out onto the sort of left side now. You can see you're desperate to get involved. You've got your hands up. You want that ball switched. You was always alive.
Yeah, that's how I always approach the game. I want to feel the ball. That's the type of player I am. And I told them before as well, because I said in the first half, obviously I'm on the bench and I can have a look at the game. And I knew there was space in behind. And I'm just hoping that the ball is going to land around the penalty spot there. And I'm reading it. And yeah, with my first touch, I
We've
get the
highlighted
goal.
your movement here because for me, this is just instinct. You just come off the line, you think something might happen, and you wrap it. It's a really good finish because you haven't touched the ball since the warm-up, really, or half-time.
Yeah, definitely. It's like you said, I try to read it, and yeah, the ball comes to me perfectly, and yeah, all I have to do is put it in the back of the net.
And that's what you kind of do in the change room. You obviously, lots of substitutes we see just sitting there, just sort of watching, observing, disappointment. There was a subdued celebration from you. Is that disappointment because you're not starting? Because obviously you came on and made an impact today. Do you feel that you should be in the starting lineup?
I think everyone wants to start and play games, obviously, but it's always nice to help the team and get my goal and get off to a good start for myself as well this season. And
Not even a smile, Leandro, here. Come on.
He's smiling now. That's
I
me
think
now.
it's
What's going on? What's going on?
Oh, here we go. We got the normal. That's a celebration.
It's all emotions as well, and when you score, it's almost like you don't know what is happening. And I'm just very pleased that I helped the team again tonight. And yeah, it's an important one for us, and we can look forward to the next game.
From a personal perspective, though, you did finish last season so well. 9 in the last 18 games of last season. Did you almost expect to be starting again at the start of this season?
It's not about expecting. I know the competition and the team as well, and I think it's good for everyone, and we push each other. But obviously, when you do very well, like I said, everyone wants to start and play games. But it's just, I'm very happy that I helped the team and I had an impact again, and that's all I can do.
Apart from obviously saying to you, look, get in at the back post and give us a goal when you can, what was the manager's directions to you? What did he say? Bring more energy? Because they had a young right back that had obviously been a substitute. Get at him. What was the feeling from the manager?
Yeah, exactly what you're explaining now. To get at him, try to be composed on the ball and get him behind them and make it difficult for him. And I think I managed to do it.
Well, the second goal, your movement for the second goal is brilliant. I don't know if you can look at it. I'll put the guys under pressure here. But this is fantastic movement as well from you, because you pull him in, you realise he's going to get tight to you, and a little bit of reverse movement. Brilliant.
Yeah, this one as well. As soon as I came on, I told Gabi that he had to look for me and behind there, because I knew there would be space. And with the first ball before this, he didn't do it. But then on the second one, when I told him, he puts a perfect ball in behind, and then obviously it's a good finish from Thomas.
Is that something you work on? I mean, looking at Declan Rice's position, where he's sort of trying to occupy the fullback as well, is that what you're trying to obviously do, where that ball can be lifted over the top into the space? Because it keeps the fullback guessing, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, every opposition is different, but you always try to exploit their weaknesses, and I think in the second half we have done that.
The fixture computer had a bit of fun with Arsenal at the start of this season, Leandro. The first 3 away games, Aston Villa, Tottenham, Manchester City. You've also got Brighton at home next week. How important is a good start, given the fixtures that you've been dealt? And you know, could a strong start actually really set your path for this season?
I think a strong start is always good, especially for the feeling, how you go into a new season. Obviously, it's so early on, so it's hard to predict what's going to be at the end of the season. But it's definitely, what we're aiming for is to win games, especially also now. We want to win every game. Obviously, it's not as easy as I say, but that's what we're gonna aim for. And it's a tough game next week as well. I know them very well, so. It's going to be a good game for us again to measure ourselves.
We wish you well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And good to see you smiling as well, Leandro. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, mate. Well done.
Leandro Trossard, who made the big difference, having come on as a sub, scoring with his first touch. I did hear a whisper that the manager might be imminent as well. So, Jamie, you have to keep an eye over across
I've got vision now. I can see him just over your shoulder there. But I don't mind that. You know, he's coming up. He's walking over now. When players have the ump about not playing, I don't mind that. You know, he's angry. He wants to play.
Coming on, scoring with your first touch of
Absolutely.
the game as well. Here is Mikel. Congratulations, Mikel.
Nice to see you.
I think you might get a knock on the door on Monday morning from Leandro Trossard. I'm not sure.
Maybe now. Maybe now.
It was an inspired substitution, wasn't it? Why was it necessary at that point in the game?
Well, because we have to change the momentum of the game. We had 10, 12 minutes that we suffered in the second half, and we have to change something. And Leo's got the ability to change the game. His end product is unbelievable. I think he had 2 shots, 2 great balls in the box. That could have been another goal or 2. So that's what you need. When it's not enough with the starter, someone that has to come in and do the job.
Did you feel you had control of the game?
Yeah, we did, especially because the approach that Villa had from the beginning, which we were a bit surprised. But
in what way were you surprised?
The way they behave, especially defensively. But it's fine. Then you have to make the game. We had to pick up the pace a little bit because we become too slow, because you feel comfortable on that. But it's not a game that we want to play. We created 2 or 3 big chances. Watkins has one here, a big one, and then David changed the game. The save of David probably changes the whole game, and then we got a good dynamic, scored the goal, and then we were on top of the game.
You talk about behaviour. What do you think they surprised you because how defensive they were for the first 20-odd minutes?
Well, they were a little bit different to what they've been doing, especially at home. But that's it. We have to adapt. We're going to have to play a lot of games like that. The holding midfielder had a very specific behaviour with our attacking midfielders as well. We have to find something else. And the moment we understood the game, we created more and more problems. And credit to them. They are a great side. They are really well coached. And it's a very difficult place to come and win.
How important is it with subs now? Because obviously you bring on Leandro, masterclass from you. He scores in his first minute. But keeping them happy, keeping them hungry, and making sure that they don't, maybe not sulk in, but they buy into what we are trying to achieve at Arsenal.
Well, we talked that. Listen, the competition is big. We have great players in each position, and they're going to have to accept that. And we have a huge season ahead of us, a long one. and you need players to impact. He did last year when he started, when he was a sub. Today we had to do that, and he gave us a headache now for the weekend.
How far off are you being fully equipped, do you think? Do you think you need a few more bodies in the door to obviously go and push for that title?
Well, we are really happy with the squad that we have. It's true that we had an injury with Gabi Jesus as well, that we missed him, and we are a little bit short. But if we can do something, we will do it. But at the moment, love the ones that we have, that they are really, really good.
Is it a difficult balance, Mikel, at the start of a season, particularly this one, when you see the level of fixtures that you've been dealt in these early few weeks, particularly away from home, although Brighton next week is a tough one as well at home. But to get that balance right between results and find the performances that you want from your team as well.
Absolutely, but I was watching the games today, and every game is just it's just a big fight. It's the standards of the league has gone again to a different level, the level of the coaches. So every game is going to be really complicated. You have to earn it, and we will try 2 out of 2. Obviously, a lot of things to improve still, but now focus on Brighton.
I think it's an interesting question from Lee, and I think this is the chatter amongst Arsenal fans as well, Mikel. Going into this last week of the transfer window, do you feel you have enough, particularly at the top of the pitch, enough options there to go through an entire season?
If everybody's fit, yes, but that's why we need good availability from everybody. We don't have 23 outfield players, and normally you have to be equipped like that. We know we're not going to get there. We have to trust some academy players and make sure that we look after the ones that we had to be robust and play a lot of minutes.
But so far, looking good.
So far, looking good and happy.
Good for you. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mikel.
Thank you.
2 wins out of 2 for Arsenal.